7th at 11:56, so it's almost the 8th. Why am I doing this so late, you might ask? It's because absolutely no one is here. My sister has apparently moved out with her newest boyfriend. My mom is up in New England vacationing, and I am here alone. So I am able to do this now. First, I guess I'll start off with movies that I've seen recently. Captain America. That was alright. I liked it. It wasn't as good as the most recent Avengers movies, but it is good to kind of go back and see, like, kind of what started it all. And I've gotten a mixed message that he's the one who started it and he's not the one who started it. And I don't mean started it as in he's the one who started the Avengers. I mean he's the first one. Yes, he's the first one no matter which side you argue. But on one side you have he was the one who started the overall Avengers theme. Like if he hadn't been the way he was, Avengers wouldn't have been started. The other side is that he was the first Avenger because of what he was able to do and so on and so forth. I am on that particular side that the Avengers is there because of him and not because it just would have existed even without him, just some other way. So I think he had a very pivotal role in determining that the Avengers was actually started, even though he didn't start them himself. I also saw Ironclad. That was a movie about King Edward, I think. Something about England and France and fighting and stuff. Don't really remember it that well, but it was pretty good. I liked it. It was decent. I also saw Jarhead, which was about a particular person that went off to war in Iraq, I think, somewhere. Became a soldier, and what he went through over there, which was a different take on it because it wasn't really a major part of the war. He was kind of back on the sidelines, just kind of watching and waiting, and never really actually got into any action. Source Code was, in my opinion, an amazing movie. I would definitely recommend it if you liked stuff like The Prestige and The Illusionist. It does have that sort of vibe to it. I thought it was really well done and really provoked thought. It's very, very interesting. I also saw Your Highness, which was sort of the dumb comedy you kind of expect from things like 300 remakes. I can't remember what that one was called. But it's basically like all the dumb stuff that you see coming out, but it's also meant to be comedy. I liked the trailer a lot more than I liked the movie, actually, which was disappointing, but overall the movie was it was good enough that I didn't mind watching it, but bad enough that I would never ever watch it again. The closest thing that I can think of might be 10,000 BC. I think that's the name of it. I haven't actually seen that one, but I do plan on seeing it. And I saw The Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which was today. Actually, it was yesterday because it's now midnight. But I did see that, and that was really well done. I really liked it. I would recommend it for anyone. Thought it got off to a little bit of a slow start, but as it picked up around the middle, I thought it got really kind of intense and exciting, and that kind of movie. Kind of not all action, not all drama, not all romance, not all comedy. It's just kind of a mixture of all of them. There's some moments in the movie where you're like, haha, yeah, you're fucked. And there's some moments where you're like, that's actually pretty funny. I also recently finished watching the entire series Nikita, and that I really liked. I was intrigued throughout the series about what was going on. They added twists and turns I hadn't really expected nor anticipated, which I guess is kind of the same thing. But I watched all of that. I would recommend it for anyone who likes kind of spy-esque revenge action movies. Was very nicely done. I would watch it again if someone said, hey, do you want to sit down and watch it with me? Not that I'd do it myself, but you know, that's just me because I'm lazy. I had something I wanted to talk about that was the main kind of overarching thing, which is right there. Okay, so I wrote a ton down, so I'm not going to read it word for word because that would take way too long. So I'm going to kind of get the gist of it as we go along. Basically, what it boils down to is I read a letter recently from a pen pal that I have in prison, and I write to him on occasion, maybe once to twice a month. I get a response about a week later, and that was about 25 days ago. I think 25 days ago is when he wrote that letter, and I just recently read it. It's really weird though, because I don't know why I didn't write a response back to him earlier. I've kept this letter for almost a month and I haven't written back, and I wanted to figure out what was going on that was keeping me from writing back to him. So I looked at everything that I did in a normal day, which was sleeping, World of Warcraft, League of Legends, watching Hulu videos, YouTube videos, random movies that I find. I do role-play writing, which doesn't take up a lot of time, but it's really fun and I enjoy it. And eating and making food accounts for a very small portion of the time in my day, because sometimes I only eat one meal, sometimes I eat like maybe a snack during the day, or other times I eat 3 times, 3 big meals in a day. I guess it really depends on if I feel like eating or not. Nevertheless, I figured out that sleeping accounts for about 14 hours every day. So approximately 14 hours every day I will be asleep. And I found that a little bit disconcerting. So what I should cut back on is sleeping, although I really like to sleep. I find it refreshing. I don't have to deal with anything. And sometimes I get some dreams that spark some creativity. So, unsurprisingly, I do very little with my day. So, it wasn't any in particular thing that I do that kept me from writing back. It was just that I was too lazy. So, in effect, I was holding myself back. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's probably just part of my personality is that I don't get things done. I do everything that's fun and leave everything that I either don't want to do or don't care enough to do now for much, much later, apparently. So that was kind of a little bit of a wake-up call. I'm not the type of person who's like, oh shit, I need to get my life together, because that doesn't happen for me. I think more of like, oh, okay, it's something I probably should change eventually when it really needs to be changed or has to be changed or something. But right now I don't really have any motivation to change it, so it won't change. In other news, I have gotten 5 out of 13 total Wheel of Time series books. I own 4. So right now I have 9 out of the 13 books. I have no idea when I'm going to read them. I hope at some point I will. But just having them is good, because if I do want to start, I can do that again. The reason I got them is because I wanted to start over on the series all over again. I don't want to like jump into the 13th book and be like, oh, okay, this is happening now. because I wouldn't know what the hell was happening before that. So I have all those books waiting for me to open them and read. They are pretty thick, but I really enjoyed the series when I started it last time, back before I discovered the magnificent use of computers and the video games I could find on them. That's not a problem. Nevertheless, I have said to myself, eventually when I get to read books, this is what I'm going to read. So I'm kind of taking small baby steps toward that. I also, not so recently, maybe like half a month ago, went to Whip's Ledges with my mom. It's basically a hiking ground that has huge rocks that you can go across, up and over and around and stuff. So it's really fun. I do enjoy that hike, and I took a lot of good pictures, so I offer you these pictures that I've taken over the course of when we hiked. I basically just took them whenever I saw something that I thought needed to be taken. They're just kind of random, scattershot. I didn't really have any plans going in with it. But yeah, what else has been going on? Not too much. That was pretty much everything I wanted to get out of the way. Didn't really have anything else planned. Haven't seen anything else worth mentioning, I don't think. Actually, yes I did. There's a TV series, I believe it's TV, shown on Hulu. I think it's exclusively on Hulu at the moment, called The Booth at the End. And it revolves around these people coming in and telling this guy the details of what's going on in their lives. And he makes deals with them that what they want, they have to do something to get. And if they do that something, then they get what they want, no matter what it is that they want. The tasks range from robbing a bank to helping old ladies across the street. Nevertheless, they have to do it to get what they want, and if they don't do it, then they don't get it. But he has said in some of the clips that I've seen, each episode I think is like 22 minutes long or something, so half of a regular TV episode. He says that he provides one opportunity to get to the result, and there are multiple ways that they could get to the end result. He just offers one that is foolproof. It can, if you do it, then you get what you want, and that's it. And I think it raises some very good questions about human morality and what lengths people will go to get what they want. So I would definitely recommend Booth at the End to absolutely anybody. I do find it extraordinarily fascinating, and I think that if you watch just a little bit of it, you will too. Series gets off to a little bit of a slow start because you kind of jump right in. You don't really see what the people ask for first. You just kind of learn it as you go, as they come in with the details. But that's the entire way that the story is told. It's told through the people telling the details to this guy. So you don't actually see them doing anything aside from sitting in the booth and telling him the details, which is a very interesting medium for conveying a story. However, I do think it's very effective, so it worked. At any rate, that is everything that I wanted to cover. I thought that before I mentioned the booth at the end, but it came to me. Okay, yeah, I'll leave you with that for this month or so. And so have a good month, I guess.